Shalom Avracha. This evening we begin the second book of Moses, the second of the Chumashim, Sefer Shemot, and we study together Parashat Shemot. In our section of study this week, we read of the birth of perhaps the greatest Jewish leader in world history, the birth of the great prophet Moshe. As we study in the section of Shemot, this name was given to him by the daughter of Pharaoh, who was ever so sensitive in saving the baby that she saw in that particular basket. And she nurtured this child for a period of time. The child was being nursed by the child's mother. And then came the point where Vayigdal Hayeled, the child grew up, Vativi'eu levad Paro, and Miriam, Moshe's sister, brought the child back to the daughter of Pharaoh, Vayihi lach levain, and she basically adopted him. Vatikra Shemo Moshe, and she is the one who called his name Moshe. Vatomer ki min hamayim mishitihu, and she proclaimed, for I drew him out of the water. What's fascinating about this study is that this name is given to Moshe seemingly at a latter point in his life. What was his name at birth? It says explicitly in the text that his mother was able to hide him for several months. Did he have a name during the period of Atitzpenehu Shalosha Yirachim? She hid him for 3 months. What was his name then? Or even later. It says that when the child grew up and he came back to the daughter of Pharaoh, then she called his name Moshe. What was his name in the interim? Baby.
Yeah.
Is that a name or a title?
It's a title, but that's Talabris. What do they call the kids?
Okay, could be. There are those who want to suggest that perhaps maybe the mother didn't want to give the baby a name. Maybe
she gave him. She might
or maybe
might get too attached.
Too attached. Yeah, there is. Yeah. So I heard somebody once suggest such an idea, that maybe since she knew that this really wouldn't be her son, it was better not to call him by a certain name. There are those who want to say that. The rabbis suggest that there were many names that this boy was called. If you look in the 4th chapter of Chronicles 1, there's a list there of Yered, Avigidor, Aviza Socho, Yekutiel, Aviza Noah. And according to at least one rabbinic reading, some of these names reflect the other names of our great teacher Moshe. So why is it that we never refer to Moshe anywhere in the Torah by the name Avigidor? We never refer to Moshe by the name Aviza Noah. Why only Moshe? So Eliyahu thinks that the mother called him baby, or cutie, or sweetie, right? Something like that. Sweetheart, right? Yes. The rabbis teach that indeed maybe he did have other names. Tovia, according to one tradition, that's right. Tovia, Vatera Oto Ki Tovu Tovia. But in the Midrash we study that the very fact that the name that remains forever of this boy, of this man, is Moshe. Mikan atalamed scharan shel gomelei hasadim. From this very fact that he's forever referred to as Moshe, many, many trillions of times, I'm sure. Trillions and trillions of times, all throughout the world. Moshe, Moses, everybody refers to him by Moshe. Afal pi sheharbei shemot hayu lo Moshe. He indeed had many names. Say the rabbi here in Midrash Rabbah. Lo nikba lo shem b'chol haTorah ela kemo shekra'atu Bitya bat Paro. The only name that remains, the only name that the Torah refers to him in that particular form is the name of Bitya bat Paro. Bitya, the daughter of Pharaoh. one of the ironies of history is that Pharaoh is trying to destroy the Jewish people, but ultimately Pharaoh is responsible for saving the Jewish people, because it's Pharaoh's daughter who is the one that saves Moshe. So the rabbis teach that this teaches us the lesson of the great reward of people who are kind-hearted. Since she was ever so kind in saving this baby, this helpless baby, especially since it was obvious that she was going against the decree of her father, the kindness, the sensitivity, the gentility, the love of Bitya, daughter of Paro, remains in the fact that every time we are mentioning the name Moshe, we are also giving credit to Bitya. She's there. Every reference, she's there as part of that reference, which I think is very, very beautiful. Which means that if someone extends kindness to someone else, forever and ever, they will be rewarded. But there was always something that intrigued me about this name, Moshe, because Moshe means to draw out. Moshe is the active verb of drawing out, of pulling out. Moshe. The word is used in spoken Hebrew even till today. Moshe. It would seem that the baby, should not be called Moshe. She should be called Moshe. She is the one who drew the baby out of the water. Right? So he's not Moshe. He is
Nimsha.
Mashui. He is being drawn. She says here in the text, Vatomer ki min hamayim mishitiu. I drew him from the water. Therefore it seems that the word Moshe, that the structure of this word is incorrect. He's not Moshe. He is, as Eliyahu says, Nimsha, Mashui. And already the Sforno and others seem to deal with this problem. And it seems that the proper reading of the text, according to this school of thought, is Vatikra Shemo Moshe. She knew what she was doing. It wasn't a mistake. But she was teaching him that now that you have been drawn from the water, you know what you're supposed to spend your life doing? You are now supposed to be Moshe. Anyone who's in trouble, anyone who is in deep water, anyone who's in dangerous areas, you go and you become a Moshe. Why should you be a Moshe? You draw them out. Why should you draw them out? Ki min hamayim mishitihu. Since you were drawn out, since you know what it's like to be drawn, now go draw everybody else. And that's probably the way, I think, even in the world today, there are many people who suffer various forms of problems, and then if that problem, Baruch Hashem, thank God, is resolved, they spend the rest of their life helping people in similar situations. If someone was suffering from an alcohol abuse situation, if they had liver problems as a result of drinking, many of these people dedicate their lives to teaching people stay away from alcohol because you're going to damage your liver. There are many drug addicts, or former drug addicts, who become drug counselors because they were mashui, because they were taken from the depths of the mayim. Now they are the ones leading the other people. There are many people who used to lead unethical lives, and someone came along and taught them values, God values. They taught them ethics. They taught them morals. And today they're the teachers of ethics and morals to the world. Why? Because they experienced Ki min hamayim mishitihu, for they were drawn from the water, and now they're spending their lives drawing everybody else from the water. And that's exactly what Moshe does. Because in the very next text, we read, the very next sentence, right after it says that she called him Moshe, we read that Moshe witnessed an Egyptian attacking a Hebrew man. A Jew was being attacked, maybe almost murdered by an Egyptian. So here was the situation. What does Moshe do? Immediately, he stands up to the defense of the Jew. He immediately removes the Egyptian. Why? Why?
Because he knows how it is.
And what is he supposed to be doing?
Moshe.
Moshe. He does Moshe. He does a Moshe. That's what he's doing.
Rescuer.
The rescuer, right? Because he was rescued. Therefore, he becomes the rescuer.
Because he knows how it feels.
Because he knows how it feels. Because when someone goes through an experience, they are the best ones to take care of that. And that's why in the